Top of the morning to you once again. Thank you so much for tuning in this great morning, and thank you for joining us this beautiful Monday morning on Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio and your state's number one family radio station. Great morning to you. Today is Monday, the 13th day in the month of October 2025. And from our studio, it is 6:33 a.m. Good morning to you. I believe you're well and you're getting set for work. I know a lot of people do not like Mondays, but Monday is not the problem, actually. Monday is not the problem. It's just like any other day. As a matter of fact, I see it from a different perspective. It's a new beginning. It's a fresh start. We start something new. We build something new for the week. And how we start the Monday or our Monday, has a way also of dictating or setting the tone for other days of the week. So rather than hate on Monday, why don't you just put all your energy when you understand that Monday is the first day, the official working day of the week. Sunday starts the week, but Monday is the official, working day of the week. It starts the week officially for work. And if we can set the tone right on Monday, then the week will be a great one. All right? So don't hate on Monday. Prepare for your Monday from Friday. And, of course, your Monday will be a very great one. God bless you. My name is Ayo Emmanuel-Ojo. Before we get straight into the dailies this morning, remember that a joyful heart is good medicine. All right? A joyful heart is good medicine. A proverb states that a joyful heart is good medicine, but a broken spirit dries up the bone. That suggests that joy can have healing properties, while sorrow can lead to physical and emotional deterioration. The heart in this context refers to, a person's inner self, encompassing thought, emotions, and will. And so if a joyful heart is good medicine and a broken spirit dries up the bone, then make a choice. A joyful one, good medicine. As a matter of fact, if we break down, you want to take medication, which is good, right, to help your body recover and bring you back up there. And of course, if you then, set yourself into that area of depression, sadness, and sorrow, it's going to dry up your bone. So take or make your choice, a joyful heart or something that will dry up your bone. I know we want that joyful heart, although situation challenges can be overwhelming, but in all things still, we give thanks, and of course, we stay joyful, because with joy, you get access into the deepest place of life. Once again, you're welcome to the program. We have the Punch newspaper on the table today, followed by the Guardian, and of course, we read from the Vanguard Online this morning. Let's start with the Punch newspaper, shall we? On page 18 today on the Punch, Edo recovering, no plans for replacement, says presidency. And I'm still on the Punch on page 33. Naira hit 10-month high on strong FX inflows. On page 41, that's connected to politics 2027, no pact with Jonathan, says Obi, on page 41. And on page 40 of the Punch, Fubara retains 8 commissioners, prepares fresh nominee list. What's the basis of the retention of the 8 people? You find that story on page 40 of the Punch today. On page 8 of the Punch newspaper, which is the major story for today, ASU reject federal government's proposal, begins 2-week strike today. Union snub government's peace talk over unpaid arrears. Others insist on industrial action. Another rider to the story says federal government says no work, no pay. Nance commences move to resolve lingering issues. No work, no pay sounds very familiar. We'll look at that and again when we get into the news or the program today. On page 18 of the Punch, Tinubu under fire over presidential pardon for drug offenders. On page 18, Tinubu under fire over presidential pardon for drug offenders that you find on page 18 of the Punch newspaper today. On page 40 of the Punch, more Kwara abductees rescued as military sustains pressure on bandit. On page 40. On page 41, killings. Adeleke denies hiding a Motekun commander, blasts APC. On page 41. On page 5 of the Punch, 2 arrested over Mana's death at Oshun funeral party. And finally, Polaris Bank shines at 2025 Bafi Awards on page 32. That's all we can take on the front page of the Punch. Let's move on to The Guardian. Prioritize ending impunity for electoral offences, Serap tells new INEC chair on page 5. On page 5 still, IMF World Bank meeting, Cardoso leads team as federal government confirms Edo indisposed on page 5. On the same page, ASU talks end in stalemate as Konwa break ranks on page 5. Remember Konwa? That story is on page 5. On page 6, prerogative of mercy, criticism, outrage, suspicion, trail, presidential pardon of 175. That story is on page 6 of The Guardian today. And of course, moving on to other stories on page 7, security concerns. Tinubu NSA NIA boss joint meeting in Rome on page 7. On page 30, federal government revokes Mararaba Kafi Road contract over negligence and faulty design. On page 29, psychologist blames lifestyle orders for emotional instability among youth. Presidency Sultan orders commit to friendly girl-child policies on page 30. On page 29, Umba exit and PDP's stake dominance in Southeast. And finally, on page 7, Zenith Bank hopeful of full-year performance pays 51.3 billion naira dividends on page 7. Very quickly, let's see what we have on the Vanguard online this morning. Non-oil export, local investors lose out of 4.8 trillion naira boom. In education still, ASU shuns federal government, insists on strike over unresolved demands. How Abacha's military junta killed Ogoni 4 and Ogoni 9, says Falano. UK steel industry set for worst crisis as EU hike tariff. 1 million Bibles to be distributed nationwide in honor of Sheyi Tinubu. And of course, a video, Kano Pillars fans invade pitch, attack referees after 3SC grab later equalizer. That's all we can take this morning on the program with the front page. We read from The Punch, The Guardian, and of course this morning again from the Tribune Online. Thank you so much for joining us. You can watch us live on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Wells Radio 893 FM fan page, Wells Radio 893 FM fan page. You can watch us live on our Facebook page, and also you can listen to us live from anywhere in the world on our website www.wellsradio893.com. All right, welcome back to the program. Thank you for joining us this morning. Today, Monday, the 13th of October, 2025. This is 89.3 FM, Wells Radio, your preferred wholesome radio and your state's number one family radio station. Broadcasting live from Wells Broadcasting House along Alafin Avenue, Oluyole Estate here in Ibadan, the capital of your state. With me in the studio this morning to help us make sense of the stories and also help us understand better while we expect your perspective on all of the selected headlines this morning. Chukwemeka Munachiso, good morning to you.
Good morning, Ayo.
Good morning to you. And how are you doing on your weekend?
I'm doing well, and I thank God for the weekend.
Any special outing,
no,
event?
No, it was a weekend of normal rest. No outing, nothing. Only that I went to church and came back home. That's all.
No special events.
No special events.
I mean, it's been a long time I attended naming ceremony, especially the Southeastern way.
Yeah.
The one where you rub powder on your face. It's always a delight.
We don't do naming ceremony. We do outing.
Church
outing.
I mean, I said naming. That's dedication.
Dedication, yes.
Yeah, but I mean, when someone gives birth,
yes.
The one you rub powder.
When
on
a
your
child
face.
is born, you wait for 3 months before you take the child to the temple.
I see that Yorubas have started doing that too.
If Yorubas start doing it, it's because of economic exigencies.
But eventually, you still a party still. But it will be after 3 months.
Yes, normally it's not a Yoruba culture.
Yeah.
To do child dedication. They believe so much in naming ceremony, which is good. You see, every ethnic group has its own culture. And that's why I keep telling people, don't use your culture as a yardstick to measure other people's culture. That will not be so good. Each ethnic group, they have their own culture. They have the way. Imagine Ijaw people. Immediately a child is born, they throw the child inside the sea and leave the child there. They'll be using a long stick to be turning the child up and down. The first time I saw it, I screamed. I was in primary 4, and we had the Jaws living along the river bank. I saw elders and they were all singing and they threw the child inside the water. The child was gulping water and the child was left there. After some time, they will bring the child up and threw the child back again.
That's a lot.
They said that's how they test whether the child is actually Ijaw blood. I was shocked.
Wow.
Culture shock. If you go and do it somewhere where people don't understand, the next thing they will label you is that you people are primitive. But that's their culture.
But that's on the extreme one.
That's how they do. That's why an average German can stay inside water.
I'm sorry to say, but
can stay inside water for 3 hours.
It's someone's culture. But again, I just feel. Don't you think that's a little extreme? just to keep the child, safe. But aren't you concerned about? Like I said, I've seen a lot of Southeasterners, especially Igbos, who now do give birth, and you don't see powder. And I'm just worried about, is it culture erosion? We call that now?
No, it's not erosion. You know why? When over here in the Southwest, because they are not in Igbo land, they may not give out powder because this is the but if it is a typical Southeastern town, like in the East, they still give powder. When they are taking the child to market, the woman must go with the powder. All the women in the market, some of them, they see the child, they will collect the powder and rub on their neck. And give money to the mother. I don't know why that culture is there. You understand? So when we are small, anytime my mother comes back home with powder on her neck, we knew immediately that somebody came to the market with a new child. So that's what they do. But they can't do it here because there's a mix-up. You can't carry powder and go to Dubai. When you are not, it's not only Igbo people that are there.
I love to say it though. We have a lot to catch up with this morning. Chukwemeka, that part that you and I love to run away from, ASU strike.
I don't, of course, I don't like.
That's the in fact in bold letters, area black, on the Punch newspaper this morning. Because I don't like to talk about ASU strike, I'll take that as a second story. But we're still going to take it anyways, whether we like it or not. As I have been a victim of ASU strike back in the day, it's the moment you hear it in the news, you're already calling fellowship leaders and praying that we don't spend the extra days here. And so it's unfortunate that when I see it again, it will just take me, many years back. And I can imagine how, those still at the four walls of the university, whether undergraduate or postgraduate, how they feel. I know someone whose PhD took about 20 years.
Imagine.
Aside from university bottlenecks, ASO strike inclusive. And these are people who eventually become professors and doctors, and they tell you, I didn't make it first class. You will never make it too. Because they are equally traumatized by, experiences of getting there. We'll come back to that one. Tinubu under fire over presidential pardon for drug offenders. Opposition parties and political figures, including the African Democratic Congress and the former Vice President Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, have condemned President Bola Tinubu's recent decision to grant presidential pardons to dozens of convicted criminals, including drug traffickers, describing the move as a grave setback in Nigeria's anti-drug campaign and a dangerous affront to justice and morality. The presidency on Saturday released a detailed list of 175 individuals granted the 2025 presidential pardon. Among them, late nationalist Herbert Macaulay and the late Major General Mamman Vatsa and Mayam Sanda, who was sentenced to death for killing her husband. The pardon, which also included presidential clemency, covered more than 30 convicted drug offenders and several others jailed for crimes such as homicide, fraud, and illegal mining. The development has sparked widespread criticism and debate across the country. In a statement on Sunday, the ADC National Publicity Secretary, Bolaji Abdullahi, described the move as pathetic and a national disgrace, arguing that it undermines the nation's war against drug, encourages criminality, and damages Nigeria's international reputation. The African Democratic Congress finds as pathetic an act of immense national disgrace the recent presidential pardon and clemency granted to several convicted criminals by President Bola Tinubu. It amounts to more irresponsible abuse of power, a prerogative of mercy to grant express pardon to dozens of convicts held for drug trafficking. You can find other part of that story on the Punch newspaper this morning. Moving on to The Guardian, the major story on that front page: criticism, outrage, suspicion, trail, presidential pardon of 175. Chukwemeka on top of the lists that I have seen more on social media since that announcement is that of Mayam Sanda, who was sentenced to death for killing her husband. And it is said that, she's been remorseful in jail. She's a model to other, other people in the, correctional center, and so on and so forth. Let me get your reaction from here. Of course, this is coming from the African Democratic Congress, which is a party on the opposition, and one would say politically it's expected for the opposition to make reaction. But we've also seen reaction on social media. But let's get your own view and what's the bigger picture. As The Guardian says here that suspicion trail this particular thing. Are you suspecting anything? What are you seeing in the story?
Ayo, we have every Independence Day, there is always a window of opportunity for people, for the president to grant pardon to some people behind bars. But the president does not do it unilaterally, all alone by himself. It must be done in consultation with National Council of State and the presidential, what do they call them, presidential prerogative on mercy or of mercy. You don't do it alone. But our president has this attitude of doing things all by himself without due consultation. Remember how we came about removal of fuel subsidy? Subsidy is gone triumphantly, which has what brought us to where we are today as a people. Now, this, I don't think that President did wide consultation before granting pardon to some of these people. There's nothing wrong in granting pardon, but it must be done in such a way that the value system of the society is not undermined. Because who you pardon has a lot to tell on what the society holds dear. That's why I keep saying that in Nigeria as a country, there's no national ethos. We just do things in haphazardly. Fire brigade measures, wake up, study geography the morning after at work. Nobody sits down to think, where are we going to as a people, as a nation? What do we hold dear? Is there any red flag? Is there no line you must not cross as a people? There's nothing in Nigeria. There are some countries that no matter what happens, you must not touch this thing. There's nothing like that in Nigeria. Everything is, there's no line. Everything is, you can cross any line. You can do anything you want to do. That is not how to run a country. So when I read the outrage that trailed that pardon, and I began to see the reason why people are outraged, because there are some people that some of the crimes they committed is exactly what Nigeria is reeling from, especially when it comes to drug issue. Ayo, if you know the number of young people that are destroyed in this country on daily basis, and every day you hear emergence of different drugs with some funny, weird, satanic names, like the one on the street right now called Suck and Die. Suck and Die. There was one, I don't know how to, all these long names.
Yeah.
And there's one Kolo. Anytime I'm coming to work in the morning very early like this, some bus stops, you see a young man standing upright and sleeping on the road. He's not moving, he's not doing anything, he's just sleeping. When you ask, they say, just leave him, he's Kolo. And you are granting pardon to people who are peddling this thing, who have peddled it, and they found themselves in jail. That tells a lot on what we hold here as a people. If you forgive people, and remember our problem, fraud. Very soon now, we begin to pardon people who forge certificates. And then what is it that we hold as a people? What message are we sending to the youths? What are we telling them? That these things are, you can do it and you go scot-free. And that's why nobody will now blame those governors in the north who are romancing bandits and terrorists, who are granting them pardon, amnesty, even getting wives as for them. Because this is the bazaar. You don't do that. There are certain things you don't go to that area at all. But I am not against granting pardon. I am not against it. If the state deems it fit to grant pardon after wide consultation with stakeholders, these people, do they deserve to be pardoned? On what ground are we giving them pardon? On what ground? Okay, look at the Ogoni 9 and Ogoni 4. Yes, they deserve to be pardoned because they didn't commit any crime. These people just came up to say, look, you are degrading our environment. You are committing ecological genocide against our people, who are mainly fishermen and farmers, and they cannot go to the farm again. Abacha got hold of them and killed them. That is bad. That is evil. If you grant pardon to such people, exonerate them from what they claim they did. That is pardon. That one is okay. You understand? Because these people actually came out, they didn't carry arms. They said, no, you cannot continue to degrade our environment and expect us to keep quiet. You kill them. They deserve pardon. But somebody, do you know, Ayo, let me even shock you. There are some countries in this world, if they get you with drugs, they will test you. If they find elements of drug abuse in you, traces of drug in your blood, they will only send you to jail. But if they find nothing of drug in your blood system, they kill you. Because they know that you don't take it, but you give it to other people to take. But if they find traces of drug in your blood stream, they will just send you to jail. You will go there and stay for a very long time. There was a woman we brought here. The son was into drug before he began to turn a new leaf. The woman said that those people that raid drug hideouts where they sell these drugs, after they catch them, later you see them back again on the street. Business as usual. Is that how to tackle drug problem in a country? That is not. If you look at some of the criticisms against this pardon, it is mainly against drug people and other things. And if you ask me, I think I don't know. But I'm looking at, you don't just play, you don't just play God. There are certain things you will consider before you grant people pardon. Because what message are you passing across? What message? You don't just come and like what we are seeing in the north right now. Do you know how many governors have embraced amnesty, appeasement policy, and at the end of the day, the bandits and the terrorists have stopped killing people? They won't.
Well, let's look at this lady in particular. Her story in particular, has been, it's all over the internet. Mayam Sanders, who, killed her husband. And, I think that one in particular, Nigerians were not expecting to see, as the story was all over the place. But the point of, she's turned a new leaf and all of that. Who should be pardoned? Those at the correctional center. Are there particular or some... What are the qualities that they should look? Because, looking at some of the qualities surrounding the lady's pardon, it's a quality that you should look at for anyone who is ready to turn a new leaf.
Another thing again also is you have to don't rule out politics in all of this. Political consideration. 2027 is coming. And everybody wants to be everybody wants to feel that, I have a heart of gold. You understand? And look at the connection of that lady that was pardoned. Go and check her background. You understand? You can't rule out politics. You just read it now that she Tinubu is sharing 1 million Bible. As you read it,
yes, I did.
He's going to share 1 million Bible. You know what I'm saying? I know what he wants to appeal to the Christian community. Don't rule out 2027. Everything is at stake. Everything. We must use everything to get to where we are going to. But is that the way to run a country? I'm not against you giving Bible. I'm not against you pardoning Miriam Sanda. But the issue is, what message are you sending across? That is the thing. Because if we don't, you see, Ayo, I keep saying it. There's no nation that does not know where it is where is Nigeria going. If you ask me at my age, what can you say that this is where I don't know? I should have known when I was young, and I will believe in it. We don't know. Many countries know where they are going. They know that there are certain things you don't do. There's no, we say it here at all. But there's nothing in Nigeria.
All right.
You wake up, you begin to hear things that will begin to shock you. I begin to wonder where actually are we? What are we really? There are things in some countries you don't touch. No matter who you are, no matter your religion, you don't go there. But here in Nigeria, there's no sacred. There's nothing is sacred. Everything should be touched, which is not the way to go.
All right, so let's take a break. When we come back right after the break, we look at the big story in the house and in Nigeria this morning. Every parent should be concerned. Every, everybody basically should be concerned. ASU reject federal government's proposal. Begins 2-week strike today. We'll look at that and more when we come back. Stay with us.
Efile Emma Yukuro, Wells Radio, 89.3 FM. Nibe Gongon Lewa.
How long will it take you to confirm payment? I have been waiting for the past 1 hour.
I'm so sorry. Our network is slow. I will just run out of data.
Same excuse yesterday. It is unacceptable, please. You better switch to One Data Internet Service.
One Data?
Yes, One Data. One Data is an internet service provider with the best alternative and solution for unlimited speed. One Data provides fast and reliable internet service to organizations, homes, and places of interest in Nigeria. With One Data, you get to enjoy the premium internet service with dedicated unlimited internet speed at all times, 24/7 fantastic customer service and support, and you enjoy a 1-month free subscription when you make payment. Now is the time to say goodbye to downtimes. Sign up with One Data today on 0811 223 2671 or visit www.onedata.ng for more inquiries. One Data, unlimited speed.
Are you ready to showcase your brand to the heartbeat of Africa's broadcasting industry? At Africast 2025, the premier gathering of broadcasters, content creators, and media innovators, your business gets the spotlight it deserves. From October 20th to 24th at the Balmoral Convention Center, Sheraton, Ikeja, Lagos, Nigeria, thousands of industry leaders and decision makers will connect, explore, and invest in the future of broadcasting. Book your exhibition booth today and put your products, services, and ideas in front of the people who matter most. Don't just attend Africast 2025. Be seen, be heard, and be inspired. Visit www.africastexpo.com or email info@nbc.gov.ng to secure your registration now. NBC, your right to quality broadcasting.
Hey, I dey miss my language oh.
How you go miss your language when na in dey speak for Wazobia platform wey dey shele for Wells Radio 89.3 FM?
Haba, Wazobia platform na your program from Wells Radio 89.3 FM where they speak Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa plus including Pidgin, and every Mondays, Wednesday, Fridays you go hear am.
Na from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m.
Advertise for Wazobia platform. Everybody go hear am for every corner for your state and beyond.
Wazobia platform na people's program.
Boost your business with Wells Radio 89.3 FM. In a competitive world of business, strategic brand and product positioning is key to growth. Don't remain unseen in the shadows. Shine a spotlight on your brand with Wells Radio 89.3 FM today. Why Wells Radio? We are your state's #1 family radio station. We connect with the heart of families in your state. As the smallest unit of the society, families trust Wells Radio for quality content and information. Visit us today along Alafin Avenue, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. Our white and blue building just before Sharp Corner ensures your business won't go unnoticed. Advertise with us today. Call our marketing office on 0903 936 8185. Call Toby on 0803 509 3394. Ayo on 0706 840-7359. Take the leap today. Let Wells Radio 89.3 FM be the megaphone for your business success. You won't regret it.
89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
Welcome back to the program Perspectives Unlimited. Thank you for standing by and thank you for joining us on the program this morning. Before the break, Tinubu under fire over presidential pardon for drug offenders. Would like to have your own perspective on that. Any other pardon in particular that you think shouldn't be there? Anyone, your own reaction? Would like to have that. Remember, on The Guardian this morning, it says criticism, outrage, suspicion trail, presidential pardon of 175. Chukwemeka, there's another story here. Hopefully time would permit us to look at that. Tension as youth block Alafin's convoy. Security fire tear gas to disperse the crowd. That story's there. There was pandemonium in Igbora, Ibarakba area of Oyo State on Saturday when a group of youth blocked the convoy, the Alafin of Oyo, Oba Abimbola Akim Owade, as they attempted to leave the venue of the yearly World Twin Festival held in the town. The situation reportedly turned chaotic for some security operatives attached to the monarch to fire warning shot and tear gas into the air to disperse the crowd and clear the route for his convoy. The sources told The Guardian that the confrontation began when the youth surrounded the royal convoy, demanding money from the monarch before allowing him to depart. Security agents initially tried to calm the situation, but the crowd grew larger, prompting a more forceful response. Videos shared on social media showed a tense atmosphere as warning shot echoed and people fled in panic. One eyewitness was heard saying they have locked the gates against the Alafi. They don't want him to go. Youth are there to beg for money. Reacting that very quickly, then I open the phone lines and then we go to us.
That is the picture of where we are today. Most young people don't believe in doing anything, and it's a tragedy. I was discussing with an elderly man just yesterday. He said the mother of a young man called him to come and speak to her son because they lost their father some years ago. And this man came and was talking to the young man. The young man said, that you should tell my mother to go and do what other women are doing to make their children to succeed. He said something like, how? Don't you know that other women, they are in a group, they pray for their children to succeed, that he just lost 30 million that he's supposed to get, that if the mother had been prayerful, had been going to places to support him, that he would have made the money. The man now said, what are you talking about? He said, don't you know what young people are doing as to make money? And me too, I want to make money. He said, but do you consider? He said, so when the elderly man said, what of, have you prayed and asked God to? He said, forget about God, that God should not be involved in this discussion, that he wants to make his money. You understand what I'm saying? Most young people don't believe in work. You know why they are doing this? They look at the lifestyle of our leaders. Which work are our leaders even doing? Just look at. They look at people that work in Nigeria and all they spend their life is doing to go on strike in order to be paid, pension, protest, in order to get money. But those who just raise up their hand, hey, hi, at the end of the month, they go home with homework. Young people are looking at this thing. That's why I said we don't look at the consequences of what we are doing. When a mother goat is chewing cud, that's how the children learn how to chew grasses. The children don't learn how to they don't learn how to chew grasses unless they look at the mouth of their mother. What are we teaching our children? These children believe that there is abero mentality everywhere. You can make money without working. Look at what they did to Alafi. Barricaded the place to collect money from him for what? What have you done? Look at what they are doing in Lagos. And I pray those such things don't come to Ibadan. You are going on the way. Somebody will accost you and ask for money.
You think that do not exist already?
I know it's existing in Somabole here in Ibadan. Yeah. Somebody they will show you a knife. Just give me money. If you don't give me money, I will choke you.
Even in Oluyole Estate here.
I'm telling you,
you're standing by the roadside and someone will just approach you and sometimes if you don't give it, it might be violent.
So what are we going into? Drugs everywhere. Do you think a normal human being will do it? He wouldn't do it. They are all under substance abuse. That's why people are saying that why should the president pardon drug dealers? Why? Our youth, some of these youth that came out to block, they are alive. Do you think they're normal? They must be on substance. They must be high to come out to after seeing security operatives. That's why people are crying and criticizing what the president has just done. What does it mean? There must be some things you don't do in order to preserve the sanctity of a state. You don't do that.
0916-893-1000 0915-334 893 and 0911-333-893 0916-893-1000 0915-334-893 and 0911-333-893. Let's get to education. ASU commences 18th strike in 26 years. The Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, has embarked on the 18th strike in 26 years, citing federal government's failure to address long-standing issues affecting the public universities across the country. According to the commencement of a 2-week total strike at a press conference on Sunday in Abuja, ASU President Professor Christopher Piwuna ordered its members to withdraw their services across the country effective from 12:01 a.m. on Monday, the 14th of October 2025 today. He said the industrial action became inevitable after several unfulfilled promises, stressing that Nigerian government had paid lip service to its 7-point demand. The development comes after the 2-week ultimatum the union issued to the federal government to address the long-standing demand expiration. Professor further expressed dismay that nothing significant had happened since it used the 2-week ultimatum. Government has since been asking them for time with nothing concrete on ground to resolve that particular matter as regards the ASU strike here in Nigeria. ASU strike is already on again. I mean, to start at 12 noon today, but I can tell you that you're not going to see anything on any, institution, federal and state today. Chukwemeka. It is 18th strike in 26 years. Yes, it's on the Guardian.
Yeah, that goes to show where, the good book said, where your heart is, where your treasure is where your heart will be. We have never had leaders. We have not leaders who actually believe in education. Because to them, education does not matter. But education is a passport to development. Ayo, the lecturers are asking for better working environment. Lecturers are asking for better remuneration. Lecturers are asking because there's no country develops, Ayo, without research. What we are consuming in Nigeria is they are all products of research done by people in countries that know where they are going to. Now, Nigerian academia, what is the government doing to encourage scholarship? Nothing. People played a game for 5 minutes. You gave them millions. You gave them houses. You gave them honors. Lecturers will be people who mold the future of our children are looked down upon. And you think they will not go on strike? Why should we? What is our priority as a country? That's the question. You can't blame ASU. If the government had done the needful, do you think ASU people will just wake up, they would like to go on strike? No. Something is bringing them to the street. And they are not doing this. A lot of people will say they are doing it for their selfish end. It's a lie. They are not doing it for their selfish end. They are asking for a better working condition. If you don't motivate somebody by paying him well, if you pay peanut, you get monkeys. That's why our certificates are not honored outside the shores of this country. Take a Nigerian certificate outside and see how they will throw it away. Because they read about this. When did you graduate? After your lecturers have been on strike for how many months?
Let's take our first call this morning. Hello, good morning to you.
This is Aderonke from Muslim.
Thank you, Aderonke. Your
Concerning
perspective.
the ASU strike, honestly, if start seeing this cycle between ASU and the federal government repeating again, every time this happens, it is the students who suffer the most of their time, dream, and hope for a stable academic journey are always the first casualty, because it's not only are they delaying their dreams, also even the parents are also getting it. So I understand the government no work, no pay policy, but we can't pretend that this strike comes from nowhere. So the federal government should please look into this, because as we all know that education is the backbone of any nation. So they should please do the needful on our educational sector. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you so much,
Ayo,
Aderonke.
I'm coming. No work, no pay policy. Go and check the number of our senators and those in the House of Rep who never contributed anything on the floor. Are they not paid? They didn't contribute anything. Go Google it, you will see it. The number, you will shout. What are they doing in the house? Just go there and sleep. Raise up your hands. Are they elected to be raising up their hands, but yet they are paid? Why should you say no work, no pay? Those that you are paying in the House of Rep or Senate, which work are they doing? How many of them have sponsored a motion or presented a bill? So the question is that, because I said it in the beginning, we have no national ethos. We don't know where we are going as a people. Nigeria is just like a ship you put on top of water, no compass. Does it work? Every country know, this is where we are going. This is what we are going to do in order to get to that place. Where are we going to as a people? This ASU strike, I grew up to start hearing it. Now we are still hearing it. And a lot of parents, because it's not just the children coming home, the parents are equally affected.
Absolutely.
Now, no food at home. These children will come back and join you. And when they come back home and join you, you are going out in the morning. Hey, can you drop money for me to be going out? They don't consider all this. And some of these children are under heavy pressure. Some of them cannot even contain, hunger for a very long time. And they go and put their hand into another thing. And before they go back to school, they must have accumulated a lot of vices all over the place. So what you are going to do now, the Minister of Labour will begin to run up and down, like they did between Nupeng and Dangote. They saw it coming and they didn't do anything. You will hear the meetings upon, and those meetings, billions are going. High stake as a meeting. They will give it one big name, stakeholders meeting in so place. Money is going. At the end of the day, also I go back. People, why not nip it in the bud in the first place? Ayo, if I tell you that, at times I look at Nigeria, I begin to wonder, who did this to us? That's why when people pray, God bless Nigeria. I don't pray that prayer. He has blessed us. Now we are the people who don't know what we are doing.
Let's open the phone line 0916-893-1000, 0915-334-893, and 0911-333-893. Let's begin to talk about solutions for the government. It's tiring to see that we're having the 18th strike in 26 years. That means how many years didn't we experience strike in 26 years?
Government knows
it's
what
not
to do.
equal to the other.
Government knows what to do.
What should the government do?
Okay.
Let's take this. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning. Sulaiman Sharif, I believe.
Yes, good morning, Sulaiman Sharif calling from Nara.
Good morning to you.
See, regarding the issue of ASU and the federal government, I think federal government is not serious about the negative impact of strike on Nigeria academic calendar. How could you solve a problem by threatening ASU with no work, no pay? When your children they are at school and abroad in private universities, this is shame on top of this country because when two ever fight, the grand solver, which is the student, may God help the Nigerian student. But to be sincere, as I said, the federal government of today, they not prioritize the education sector as a major priority. That's their own personal interest, which is not supposed to be. That's my own submission. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ayo.
Thank you so much, Sharif.
Let me tell you something. If we know where we are going to as a people, we have national ethos, we have a goal. No Nigerian minister should have his children to study abroad.
I mean, that conversation has been on the table for years, but
because they're not interested. Politicians never love this country. If they care for themselves, if you make that law, no, you can't study abroad. If you are a government, if you are a minister, a president, governor, anything you are, your children cannot study abroad. These people will fix Nigerian education. If you're a minister or government or whatever, you cannot be treated abroad in another hospital. Hospitals here will be built and we keep quiet. And you think they will come and repair what they are not using. They will not. No human being will do that. That's why they are not doing it. They know what to do. Every year, because their children are not there. How many of them have you not been seen on social media? This minister going for children graduation in England. This one going to Colombia. Children are graduating. This and that. And yet they are here making laws for us. What kind of nonsense is that? If we are serious as a people, because that's why I said Nigeria is just like a rudderless ship. It doesn't know where it's going. No compass, nothing. And we're on a terrible high sea with turbulence all over the place. What are they saying? They know what to do, but they will not do it.
Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, West Radio.
Good morning, Mr. George from Olugweru.
George, calling you from Olugweru.
Good morning, sir.
You see, are we not tired of this bad name we are giving to us? Parents have just managed to gather money to send their children back to school. Some of them, I live with people here who are still having children in school. I know how they are crying, struggling, going up and down to see that these children go back to school. Now, they have started this issue of strike, sending those children back to their parents. What sort of government are we having? Who are these people that are doing all these things? Are they more powerful than the law that they are making? Because we call them lawmakers. The government, the president, is he having any of his children in school here? Is he having any of his relations in school here? They have gathered all our money and they stand in there allowing our children to be suffering. You go into higher institutions that you're supposed to finish under 4 or 5 years, you are spending 7, 8, 9 years here. And the parents are suffering and they have no reliable job that they are doing, struggling to make sure that they educate their children. Is this strike now that we want to start discussing? Okay, you call them for discussion. What is the outcome of the discussion? You will say now they have started the strike today now. Maybe by tomorrow or next they will call them for discussion and they will suspend the strike. And we will give them another 1 month. The thing comes up again. What sort of leadership are we talking about? We don't have government.
Thank you,
see,
Mr.
Ayo,
George.
Whatever you are seeing in Nigeria today is as a result of leadership truancy. That's what I call it. If we are serious as a people, Nigerians themselves are accomplices. You know why? They use ethnicity and religion to carve them into pieces. Oh, is Yoruba. Oh, is Igbo, is Fulani, is Hausa. And yet, the people that you say they are leaders cannot even govern you well. They make laws that favor them. Why not make law that no president, no governor will have his children's school outside this country? When I was growing up as a child, most of our leaders, their children are with us in the same class. All of us, we are schooling in primary school. You look at the other side, you see the child of a commissioner is in a class with you. striving.
We've had the same. We've seen the same in Nigeria before.
So if you do it here, the other day we saw. I don't want to mention the name of the minister. He was taking selfie with his son abroad. Meanwhile, Nigerian children are going on strike. The lecturers are going on strike. Which country will develop on that trajectory? It will not.
Let's look at what ASU is asking for exactly. ASU is currently demanding the conclusion of the renegotiation of the 2009 federal government and ASU agreement, release of the withheld 3.5 month salaries, sustainable funding of public universities, revitalization of public universities, and the cessation of the victimization of lecturers in Lagos State University, Kogi State University, now Prince Abubakar Audu University, and Federal University of Owerri. Others are payment of outstanding of 25 to 35 salary arrears, payment of promotion arrears for over 4 years, and release of withheld third-party deductions, cooperative contributions, union check-off deal, and so many more. Though the meeting between both parties ended in a deadlock, a highly placed source in the ministry said, who was privy to the interaction between the ministry and ASU leadership, noted that the education minister made effort to reach out to the leadership of the union, but his phone calls were rejected. Now, meanwhile, the federal government on Sunday night, last night, threatened to invoke the no work, no pay policy following ASU strike.
They are not interested in finding a solution to it. Now, all these demands they made, did they ask for the blood of our leaders? Is there any way they are asking, give us their blood? They are asking for their legitimate right. They are asking for something Nigeria has the money to fund. Yet we are funding people, we are spending money on things that don't even matter. Things that have no eternal value to our country. These people, are they asking for the blood of any of our leaders? They are not. Now, I've given you an example. Some people in the Senate and the House of Rep, they have not contributed a bill or support. All they are there is to support. And yet, at the end of the day, they go out with allowances that are 10 times over, more than what the lecturers are taking home. And you say that lecturers will just be on one side and be teaching. Look at our universities. Go there and tell me what. Look, Ayo, every society thrives on scholarship and research.
Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning. I Chief AY.
Good morning, Big Amara. Thank you for calling. You're welcome.
The issue in this country, we make you to ask a series of questions, which I'm going to ask this morning. And the question is this: which way Nigeria, which way to go? Some of us, we love our fatherland. We want to know which way Nigeria is heading to. That's the first question I want to ask. AY, do you know that the longest ASU strike we had in this country was like 2-3 years ago, where our university students spent over close to a year at home, sitting down, doing nothing. And in the process, some of them, they got, the female ones, they got pregnant. Some of them, they had the bit of issues. And now they're having another one again now. And the government is doing as if it doesn't concern them. And you are telling them that you are going to employ no work, no issue. And just like what Chukwuemeka said, our lawmakers are there. How many are they? Both the rest and the senators. They are working for how many days in the year? They are working for how many months in the year? And every month, they collect over 30 million naira as a salary. Every month. And you are telling the university lecturer, you are giving a professor 500,000 naira. To do what? Is it to buy chin or to buy plantain? I think I'm in support of what ASU is doing. And I want to sound this to ASU as well. The 2009 agreement, it is not. It does not correlate with what is the current reality happening in the country in terms of monetary policy. I think they should have a receipt and forget about it, because if that 2009 should be implemented, I'm telling you, it will not be able to augment the present reality, economic reality of Nigeria today. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you so much, Benga Mara. I mean, you have spoken well. Looking at minimum wage and other situation in the country, how about even if the implementation of the 2009 agreement then come alive, would that still suffice for ASU? Looking at the current situation, and like you said, I mean, back in the day while in university, I've spent almost a year, being on strike. While some of my classmates came back with babies, I can remember that very clearly. Hello, good morning.
Thank God you are picking my call.
Good morning, sir. Your name and where you're calling us from?
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Let me thank you for picking my call.
Oh, I mean, we pick all calls.
No, don't say that.
Oh, we pick calls. We do.
I am
pick
Primate
calls.
Shitu from Abuja here calling to your program.
Good morning, Primate. Thank you for calling.
Several people have been ignoring my calls because of my contributions.
Unfortunately, Primate, we have no numbers saved on our phones. We pick all calls as much as we can
told
do.
You what I want to tell you.
Thank you so much, Primate, for
morning.
calling anyways. Thank you.
I have problem all the time with my brother there. Now, the Nigerian journalists in Nigeria and we, the people of Nigeria, we have gone beyond the era of talking. Talking does not bring any solution anymore. May I ask from you, the journalists in Nigeria, have they fashioned out another means of addressing government rather than talking and writing? ASU has been in this for over 25 years. Are they man enough to do something extraordinary out of strike? They have been using strike as a weapon. Look, when we blame government and I come on here, a lot of people see me as that I am supporting government. I have never done that. But I'm only talking from this other side. ASU need to devise another means of fighting government. Look at doctors. They will go on strike. Whereas there are money that doctors are paying, putting to the
Primate, because of our time, what other means do you think ASU can use rather than strike?
Means, my brother.
Can you give us one of them so we can, chart a way forward?
ASU is putting a lot of money to the economy. What of if they withhold that money and said, federal government, if you not do what you will do for us, we will not put this money to your coffers. Is that not a step? Who is giant enough to do that in ASU? Who is giant enough to do that in the National Doctors Association? Who is giant to do that in any organization in Nigeria?
All right.
So let's also, advise these people to diversify another means of fighting this war. Enough of putting our children to suffer. The children are the ones suffering.
All right.
We have agreed that federal government is not doing it right. Agreed. But ASU should bring up something else to fight the war. Good morning. Good morning.
Thank you so much, Primate. Thank you so much. Chukwemeka, we have to go.
Thank you for having me, Ayo.
We have to go. Thank you so much to all our callers. We want to appreciate you. And also I'd like to say, so that I can also respond to, Primates, how do I call that? We have no phone numbers saved on our mobile phone here or our mobile phones right in the studio. As much as we can, there are 3 lines here, by the way, and so we can only pick one per time. Unfortunately, calls will come in on the other and on the second and will drop even before you finish responding to the other one. So we apologize to all those who feel like we, intentionally ignore their calls. It is not intentional. That is not what we do here. And we appreciate you. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you, Chukwemeka, once again. God bless Nigeria. All right, so that's Perspective Unlimited. Before I bring in Sam Adilere, let's talk very quickly. I'm very interested in this story. It's about the story of the 3SC. I've been seeing videos all over the internet. I've been seeing distressed players on the ground. I think some of their technical officers trying to massage them and the likes. Kano Pillars violence erupt after 1-1 draw with 3SC. It's very shameful and embarrassing that we keep seeing, supporters getting into the stadium and putting things out of place in our league in Nigeria. Let's talk about that in a minute or two before you start your show.
Okay, good morning, Ayo Emmanuel-Ojo. Well, it's quite unfortunate. Since 2019, Kano Pillars have been fined over 36 million naira, and it's down to their fans' conduct.
Wow.
Yes.
Come again.
Since 2019.
Since 2019. How many million?
36 million.
Have they paid any of that?
Yes.
Though they've been paying.
Yeah.
So what do you think the government is this it's still all about the government because this is like played at home.
Well, it's less
so
of
I
the
believe
government.
that less of the government.
Yes, when it comes to FIFA, FIFA doesn't want the government to interfere with them.
But how about security? It's played on their home soil,
now
right?
it's down to the board. That's the MPFL board.
Okay.
Some call them the LMC. The MPFL board needs to come up with a more first penalty. When you take their home games away, it's at this point in time, it's beyond finding them 1 million, 2 million. It's accumulation. So when I say since 2019, I'm talking about accumulation. So they have to come up with more first penalty, punishment. then fans will take it serious.
Take it serious.
Yes.
All right, so let me let you have your way on the show this morning. Thank you so much, Oyo State. That's Perspectives Unlimited. Let peace reign, and let's be the peace we also want to see. Thank you so much for joining the show. God bless you.
Please listen to this important information. The views expressed by the interviewee in this program are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of Wells Radio 89.3 FM or its affiliated entities. Wells Radio 89.3 FM is committed to providing a platform for diverse perspectives and opinions, and the views expressed by guests on our programs are their personal viewpoints. Wells Radio 89.3 FM does not endorse or take responsibility for the content or opinions expressed by individual interviewees and callers. Thank you.